Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Music Den. I'm your host, Armando Venditti. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with yet another episode of Going for the One, where we are counting down, um, counting down, or going through for the month of September, our list of favorite debut albums. And the one and only Jim Bricker is up next with his next choice. So take it away, Jim.
Hello. I will take it away. I'm going to take us into the mid 70s where a brash young man went up to Joe Zawinul, who was had played with Miles Davis and had formed the quite successful and innovative band Weather Report. This young guy sauntered up to Joe, gave him a tape, and said, "Hey, I'm the best bass player on earth." And turns out he was right. Um, we're talking about Jaco Pastorius, and we're talking about his debut album that landed in 1976, recorded in 1975. Um, Arguably the most important and groundbreaking electric bass player ever. Um, Based on hearing tapes, Bobby Colomby, who was a member of Blood, Sweat, and Tears and who was an ARR guy at Warner Brothers, signed Pistorius in the late 70s, and they hoped that would really sort of break out, lead to large sales. At However, Pistorius was I used the word mercurial in another episode, and I think it even goes beyond that. His tour in 1982 with his band was a 21-piece big band, and he just was a guy that really didn't know when to say whoa or when to stop.
Mhm.
Um, People who are familiar with Jocko know about his issues with drugs and alcohol. And because he was also diagnosed with a bipolar disorder in late 82, the combinations of all these things really started to take it out on him. He quit Weather Report. His solo career ended up tanking because nothing was selling. He had trouble finding work. I mean, again, he was like the best bass player on earth, but he could not find a gig to save his life. He wound up becoming homeless. In in 1987, he had a run-in with a nightclub bouncer in South Florida. Happens that the bouncer was a martial arts expert, and literally, Pistorius was hospitalized and fell into a coma. Um, he died in September 21st of a brain hemorrhage at the age of 35. So much like Charlie Parker, he died like way before his time, but it was due to a combination of, well, mostly his own self-destructive behavior that led to his early demise. Um, Jocko was groundbreaking. Any innovative bass player that you hear today is has taken stuff from Jocko's playbook. People talk about Victor Wooten, and Victor kind of started with where Jocko ended and kept going. Um, there are many other bass players. Pino Palladino probably picked up a lot of his fretless technique from Jocko, and he you the impact that he had on music was, if you had the ears to hear it, it either hit you like a hammer or just like, wow, something weird is going on here. His contributions to Joni Mitchell's Hygieia, he didn't play bass on the whole album, but the tracks where he did play bass, it's like, what is going on here? This is different. He did not follow standard rhythmic or chordal progressions, and this album, um, which was recorded before he even joined Weather Report, is just exhibit A of what an innovative, unbelievable bass player he was. Um, I'm going to talk about a few of the tracks here. It starts off with just a duet. It's on the jazz standard Donna Lee, which is was a Charlie Parker tune and a Miles Davis tune. I mean, you know how Miles takes credit for stuff that maybe wasn't his. But this is just a duet with
That
Jocko
was a
and Don
shot.
Elias. Yeah,
That was a shot. Okay.
it's true. Let's talk about blue and green if you want. Anyway,
It's okay.
um,
Go ahead. Continue.
thank you. I think I will. Um, so the duet with Don
Okay.
Elias on congas basically has Jocko tackling one of the more complex bop tunes that are out there, and just him playing the complete melody line as well as the improvs as originally played by Parker and Charlie Parker and Miles. It's just unbelievable. I mean, you dropped you dropped the needle on this album, and you're like, oh my God, what am I listening to? Because his approach to bass playing was unlike anyone else at that point. Um, it's just absolutely astounding. Not only the sound that he made, but his speed and his choice of when to kind of hold back and let silence just kind of happen within the tune, and then he just goes off on this unbelievable, solo run again. Um, Track three, Continuum, equally unbelievable, where the bass is handling the lead melody, and there's just a lot of implication of the rhythm that he's doing underneath it all simultaneously. And again, it's just astounding that someone can play this way. If you're not familiar with Jocko, but you're kind of familiar with Stevie Ray Vaughan and the way that he could kind of solo and but hold, the rhythm guitar position simultaneously, very akin to that. But again, even well, I won't say it's even more of a technical mastery, but it's a different instrument. Um, the next song on the album, Jocko is just grooving his ass off on the whole thing. It's got Herbie Hancock on piano. It's a 12-piece string section behind it. The tune is called, it's actually a kind of a medley of a piece called Kuru, and then Herbie's Speak Like a Child, which is a tune from the 60s. Um, Side one ends with this intimate solo Jocko piece, which we haven't heard anywhere on the album yet. Everything's been a duet, or it's been, with some of their little minor instrumentation. Portrait of Tracy is the tune, and it's just absolutely lovely. Um, you wouldn't think of bass as a melodic instrument up to this point, but Jocko took it there. Um, one more tune that I'll talk about is a tune called Oconole y Trompa, which is basically a trio setting of French horn, congas, and bass. And again, this is just like it defies belief, because this is basically like a jazz acoustic version of what Kraftwerk might attempt in terms of like synthesizer programming and steady rhythms. Um, or you can think of it as like a chamber jazz version of Fripp and Eno. It's just unbelievable to kind of take that sort of mindset and apply it towards jazz. Um, this is an album with 9 tracks as originally released. Um, except for like two of the tunes for me, these are all like perfect tens. And for me, this album kind of averages a 9.6, because um, it's just that strong from a performance and a composition standpoint. Um, yeah, I mean, if there are folks out there who are jazz fans or bass players who have not heard this album, you really need to sit down and give it a listen, because it will blow your mind. And again, there's lots of contemporary people who have built off of the foundation and the legacy that Jocko put together, but to kind of put your mind back to 1975 and or 76 when the album was released, and sort of try to listen to it within that context, it's even more beyond belief how just astounding this record is. This is absolutely one of my all-time favorite favorite debut albums because it's just such a, it's just such a staggering thing. It's like, what do you do with this? I mean, Sagosh, you brought up, several albums from kind of the more folky side of things where you've got songwriters who are just very raw, poetic, and the way that they're able to sort of marry the lyrical depth with the instruments are astounding in their own right. There's no lyrics going on here. I mean, it's all music, but to me, this packs as powerful a punch as, say, the Nick Drakes and the Judy Sills. It's just
Different
on a
level.
different kind of scale. Yeah. Um, so yeah, that's us, my spiel and brief history on Jaco Pastorius.
Okay. Okay. Any comments? Any questions?
I've got no disagreement with any of that.
No, no. I will point out though that there was a documentary that was done by a bass player for Metallica, Robert Trujillo,
Mhm.
on Jaco, called Jaco. You can get it. It's still available, and it is quite good. It
Yeah.
details his history and how he influenced various players in the jazz and rock field. There is a story that Joni Mitchell tells about when she was in New York. She noticed a sign that said Jocko was playing at a club that she was just standing across the street from. So she went in and she talked to him, and they were going to do. Uh, she was going to join him on stage that night, and apparently, whenever she would go to sing during her performance, he would try and move her mic away from her. He basically tried to sabotage her during the performance. So she was quite hurt by that, that he would do that to her. So, but please get that documentary. And yeah, the I have the album Crisis from Jaco Pastorius, and it's quite good. Uh, it's quite different too. So
Hmm.
it is
Yeah,
a good.
so just one more comment about this. 76 was the year that Jocko, not only with this solo album, but he really kind of exploded. His appearance on Joni's Hajira, his
Yeah,
first Weather Report album, Black Market, if I recall correctly, came out at that time. His appearance with on Pat Metheny's first solo album, Bright Size
says
Life,
life. Yeah,
which, again, is like, Pat's the label star there, but what Jocko's doing underneath is equally as, his contribution is as important to that album as Pat's is. So
yeah,
cannot recommend Jocko enough. And yeah, really, really tragic story.
yeah. It is. It is. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Another segment of Going for the One. Please put down in the comments below again any album, commenting on any album that we're talking about. Also, putting down a list of your favorite debut albums. Not perfect, but favorite. There's a difference there. So again, we'd love to get a dialogue going on this topic, and I'm sure we will. So for Ken, Jim, Sagosh, I'm Armando, signing off. Again, click like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep yourselves on top of any new content we've got coming up. And we will definitely see you soon with another installment of Going for the One. All right? Please look after yourselves and one another. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.